The HAVW A6 Juggernaut, or the clone turbo tank, was a larger model to its predecessor, the A5. It measured 30.4 meters in height and 49.4 meters in length, and was plated with thick, thermally superconducting armor which absorbed enemy blaster fire. The A6 was also equipped with heavy laser cannons, 2 anti-personnel blaster cannons, 2 projectile launchers, and concussion grenades for support. It could also carry a crew of over 300 passengers and required a crew of 12 to pilot it. The All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer, or ATTE, was a 6-legged walker that consisted of 2 armoured halves that was connected by a flexible concertina section which increased the walker's mobility on field. It was 22.02 meters in length and 9.57 meters in height, and was equipped with a single mass driver cannon and 4 smaller ball turret laser cannons. It could also carry a crew of 20 passengers and a couple of pilots. Now, both of these vehicles were seen or used during the Clone Wars and were very effective against the CIS incoming forces, but have you ever wondered who would win if put against each other? Each will be placed in a number of scenarios and equally piloted by skilled crews to see who would win. In scenario 1, we will be putting the vehicles in an evenly flat plains or beach such as Kashiro on Kashyyyk, which is the beach that you see in Revenge of the Sith. Due to the Juggernaut's sheer size and speed, it will be the most likely candidate to win, as ATTE was relatively slow and was small compared to the Juggernaut. However, if standing still within this area, both vehicles would most likely be equal with firepower, with the Juggernaut just having an edge over the other. The Juggernaut was also more heavily armed, with the majority of fire from the 4 ball turrets of the ATTE being easily absorbed, and the mobile heavy cannon doing just enough damage to puncture its hull. In scenario 2, each vehicle will be within a swamp or mudlands. Due to the Juggernauts having a tendency to kind of get stuck within mud, the ATTE would most likely win. This is due to the Juggernaut's crew being preoccupied with getting unstuck, allowing the ATTE to get enough time to fire multiple laser shots into its mobile heavy cannon. Well, not into its mobile heavy cannon, but from its mobile heavy cannon, destroying the Juggernaut's hull with multiple bangs. If not for the mud, the Juggernaut would most likely win, but in this scenario, the ATTE wins. In scenario 2, or scenario 3, each vehicle will be placed within a deep forested planet like Endor. Just like the previous scenario, the Juggernaut will have the hardest time through this landscape, as it is so large that it'd be hard to maneuver within this terrain, with the trees increasing the problems. I mean, like, you could always say that the Juggernaut could ram over the trees, but because the roots delve in that deep, it will most likely do more damage to the Juggernaut than to the tree itself. So in this case, the Juggernaut would just get stuck. It just would have an extremely hard time getting through this terrain. However, hence allowing the ATTE to win, as it is also much smaller, which I think it was at least as tall as one of the Juggernaut's wheels, and it was also more maneuverable in this type of terrain. It also have an easier time with the terrain of a forest moon. This will allow the ATTE enough time to fire multiple shots into the Juggernaut's hull, sending it down in flames. So that concludes today's video. If you do like the content you see here, please comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it from me. I'm Infernal, and may the force be with you always.